Welcome to another edition of Golden Eagle Sports with your host, Brian Villani. I'm going to start with the Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox are currently in progress against the Minnesota Twins in their first spring training game down in down in JetBlue Park, Fenway South at Fort Myers, Florida, against the Minnesota Twins. It's currently scoreless in the bottom of the second inning. Looking for a Red Sox W today against the Minnesota Twins. 5-1 is my final score prediction in favor of the Boston Red Sox. I know Alex Cora and Boston Red Sox are hungry for W's. Let's start the W train right now. I know it's only spring training, but never too early to start a W train. Let's get as many wins as we can. We got 162 games in the regular season still, but we do have a condensed spring training schedule. So let's get the W train rolling and keep it rolling all throughout spring training and all throughout the regular season. The regular season doesn't start till April 7th. I'm just so thankful to have Red Sox and the Major League Baseball back on the air once again. I'm going to go straight, and my final score predictions is 5-1 in the favor of Boston Red Sox. Drop your score predictions in the comments below, and let's see how close we get to the final score prediction for the Boston Red Sox. I'm going to go straight from the diamond to the hardwood. The Boston Celtics won their last game 126-97 against the Sacramento Kings. Jason Tatum led both teams with 32 points, 5 rebounds, and he also made 7 threes. He led the green team to a victory, and they won 2 straight games. And they are currently sitting in 4th place with a record of 43 wins and 28 losses. That is 4th place in the Eastern Conference. And they are currently on a 2-game winning streak. They play the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Let's keep the W train rolling, and let's keep the unselfish basketball going. I love seeing unselfish play or unselfish basketball, pass first offense, pass first defense too. Get as many offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding as humanly possible. Draw as many fouls as you possibly can. Get to the line and always shoot for 2 as many times as you can, and just keep playing unselfish basketball. I love seeing what I'm seeing out of the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are currently in 4th place in the Eastern Conference with 43 wins and 28 losses, and they also have a 2-game winning streak. And let's bump it up to 3 games tomorrow night at 8 p.m. against the Denver Nuggets. We're on a roll, gentlemen. Let's keep the W train rolling and keep playing the unselfish basketball that championship teams are made of. I love the unselfish basketball, and I love the pass first offense and defensive rebounding and offensive rebounding. Looking for a Celtics W tomorrow night at 8 p.m. against the Denver Nuggets. And let's keep the W train rolling. We are currently sitting on a 2-game winning streak. Let's bump it up to 3 games against the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night at 8 p.m. My final score predictions against the Denver Nuggets is 125-99 in the favor of Boston Celtics. Drop your score predictions in the comments below, and let's see how close we get to the final score predictions of a Boston Celtics game, and keep on rolling with the W train, and keep on rolling with and make it 3 games in a row for our little streak going here. We won 2 straight. Let's make it 3 straight against the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night at 8 p.m. My final score predictions for that game is 126-99 99 in the favor of Boston Celtics. Drop your score predictions in the comments below, and let's see how close we get to the final score predictions for the Boston Celtics game. I'm going to go straight from the hardwood to the ice. Boston Bruins won their last game 4-2 against the Winnipeg Jets. They are currently sitting in 4th place in the Atlantic Division with 81 points. And they currently have a record of 38 wins, 19 losses, and 5 overtime losses. That is currently 4th place in the Atlantic Division with a total of 81 points. And they play an original 6 matchup against the Montreal Canadiens on Monday at 7 p.m. Looking for the Bruins. Looking for a Bruins W, and let's just keep the W train rolling for the Boston Bruins. My final score predictions for the Boston Bruins game is 7-2 in regulation, 4-3 in overtime, or 4-2 in the or 3-2 in the shootout, or 4-3 in the shootout, or 5-4 in overtime. Drop your score predictions in the comments below, and let's see how close we get to the final score predictions for the Boston Celtics, Boston Bruins, and the Boston Red Sox games. And let's just keep on rolling let's keep the W trains rolling for the Boston Celtics. Boston Red Sox are only in their spring training, but let's start a W train for them as well. And also, I can't wait to continue the W train for the Boston Bruins as well. I got one question for all you guys, for all my subscribers. Do you think, I personally think the Boston Bruins are going, I personally think the Boston Bruins are going all the way, going to the Stanley Cup, at least to the Stanley Cup playoffs, if not, and I personally think they're just on a roll. So I think we're personally going to get a Stanley Cup this year in hockey, for the Boston Bruins, and go to the final round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But time will tell. It's not even the end of the regular season yet, and playoffs are a brand new season. But anyway, I think that's what's going to happen, and we just keep the W train rolling. Drop what you think will happen to the Boston Bruins this season in the comments below, and let's see how close we get to the final score and the fact that we are going to be in the playoff picture for the Boston Bruins. That also goes for the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are on a roll too. Let's keep the W train rolling, and I think the Boston Celtics are definitely making the playoffs this year and going far beyond the playoffs as well. Maybe NBA champions as well. I personally think that's going to happen. I know there's still a little bit more time in the regular season, and nothing is set in stone yet, but let's keep the W train rolling for the Boston Celtics and the Boston Bruins. And let's make a W train for the Boston Red Sox, because they are only in their first spring training game today against the Minnesota Twins. Drop your score predictions in the comments below for the Boston Red Sox, Boston Bruins, and Boston Celtics. Thank you to all my subscribers. And also drop what you think will happen to the Boston Bruins and the Boston Celtics come playoff time. I know it's a little too early to say, but I honestly think it's gonna be a great season for all Boston teams. I'm doing positive energy and positive vibes only, and just let's keep the W train rolling once again. And one last thing to all my viewers and all my subscribers: Tom Brady has returned for another season in the NFL. He signed a one-year deal with the Buccaneers once again. So the the NFC South is going to be a really hard division this year. If it already hasn't been a hard division before. I just wanted to tell you that the Tom Brady is coming back for another season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He signed a 1-year deal, and when I'm actually kind of happy he's back. You know, he's the oldest player in the NFL. He's 45 years old. And if he can still play at a very competitive level, let him play until he can't play anymore. That's what I say. And this is going to be another great NFL season. To all my subscribers, thank you to all my subscribers. Like, comment, and subscribe. And this is the Golden Eagle signing off.